Previously in our love-hate relationship with comic culture.
Let me ask Mickey, who would you rather see play Ra's al Ghul?
Right.
Jet Li.
Jet Li. Is Ra's al Ghul Asian?
Yes.
I think he is Asian.
I think he is.
Okay.
But and I don't.
Yo, I'm Mickey Fax.
Y'all Tat Wizard.
I'm Pete Rock.
And this is our love-hate relationship with comic culture. That's all good. And welcome all comic fans. I'm joined each and every week by my two brothers, Tat Wizard and Pete Rock, as we debate all things Marvel and DC comic culture. And today we have a very good friend of ours that has stepped in to our podcast, who not only shares an affinity for hip hop and R&B and all sounds of music, but also shares a very huge love for comic culture. And that is none other than my brother, Rob Markman. What's up, brother?
Rob.
Nah, man, I'm happy to be here, man.
Everybody's brother.
Thank you,
Everyone's
sir.
brother.
Nah, man, that's love.
So-
I've been seeing y'all doing y'all thing for a while now with this podcast, so I was happy I got the call. I'm honored to be here.
Appreciate you.
So,
doubt.
Rob, I want you to tell us about what your introduction into comics looked like, right?
Yeah, I mean, my older brother Ruben, used to have like Iron Man, Thor, like laying around. He used to draw a little bit. So we always had kind of comic books laying around. And then my mom, she used to babysit all the kids in the neighborhood, right? So one of the kids she used to babysit, mother worked at DC Comics, like in the finance, like accounting or something. So every time, like every Friday, she would come with like a manila envelope of just DC books. I was probably about 7 years old. I remember having like the first Justice League, the one that came out in the 80s. It was like 87 or something. I remember she brought me one time. It was a lot of Blue Beetle comic books. So I know the Blue Beetle movie is coming. I used to have a lot of Blue Beetle, a lot of Booster Gold in the 80s. And I remember she brought me one day, when I was a kid, I had the Killing Joke, the classic Batman
Joker,
Killing
Batman,
Joke. Yeah, with Joker on the cover with the camera. I had that as a kid, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that it would hold value. It wasn't until years later when I seen that thing going up in price. I'm like, damn, I used to have that. So
Yep.
comics was always around when I was a kid. And then, like 89, 90, I'm starting to go out on my own, go to the Stop One, the Optimal in the corner, they got the spinner rack. And, I just started picking up like Spider-Man joints, X-Men joints, like stuff that just appealed to me. And then eventually, find the different actually comic book stores in Brooklyn. Because when you went to the spinner rack, they didn't always have the same thing every month. The condition was bad a lot of times. So, I started to get more serious into it and used to find different comic stores in Brooklyn. Then in 93, I got a job. My brother Damian Scott was working at this comic book store around the way. This place called Brain Damage was the name of the comic store. It was owned by a guy named Carlos Rosario. Cool, rest in peace, cool dude, Puerto Rican brother. He kind of looked like Carlito and Carlito's Way. Like that was his swag. So imagine Carlito with a comic book store. You know what I'm saying? And this was Carlos Rosario. He had one of the greatest collections in New York. People used to come see his collections. So I started working there, like for $3 an hour after school, man. I mean, he had like Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man 1, just like anything that you was looking for in that golden age. He had all the keys. Rest in peace. So, I worked a couple of years in the comic book store. So that was basically my whole childhood and my whole introduction.
Wow, that's crazy. And a lot of people that are listening to this podcast, they could probably relate to you, right? Because a lot of times comic books, for a lot of us, right, people would look at it like, oh, that's nerd shit, that's geek stuff. But, really, it helped a lot of people learn how to read. It helped people learn vocabulary and the art style, right? You got a chance to get into art and learn about what your other hip hop artists were into, right? You got Method Man who coined Johnny Blaze. You got Ghostface Killer coining the term Tony Stark, right?
Yep.
And taking these monikers on, right? So I'm glad that you have a rich history in the comic book culture. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on the MCU and the DCEU?
I mean, MCU is struggling right now. I mean, I was a big fan. I think
Thank you.
I think like that first run, those first couple of phases, like everything up until Endgame. Like I think Infinity War is one of my favorite movies. Like Godfather is my favorite movie. Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies. Like Infinity War might be top 5. Like first of all, from just a movie going
Say that again?
experience, like
Infinity
being in
War?
the theater. Yeah, top 5 movies for me. You know what I'm saying? And
He hates Phase 4.
No, I heard he
Yeah,
said he's
man.
struggling right now. I get that, but
It's
I just want to
it's
double back
struggling
on
right now.
Infinity War.
But you know, like Infinity War, like it took me back to when I was a kid and seeing Transformers the movie at the Kenmore Theater and Optimus Prime died. Like nothing prepares you for that, and just being in the theater and just seeing everybody turn to dust. I think it was such a powerful thing that pulled on you emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like it was great cinema to me. After that, I think they've been struggling. I think, and I still enjoy. I still go see every movie opening weekend, but Marvel, it's become a business now, and I think it's quantity over quality.
There you go.
I didn't love Thor. Or was it Love and Thunder? I thought that was poorly done. Ant-Man was all right. I enjoyed Ant-Man. Ant-Man was one of the better ones. I had my critique
First
about it.
one?
No, you're talking
The
about
latest
last
one, the Quantum Mania.
This is Phase 5 though.
I
just in
definitely
case.
I definitely had my critiques, but like things like the Eternals, I'm like, maybe that becomes significant later, but that felt like kind of a waste to me. A lot of movies just ain't hitting like they used to.
Well, all right. I got a question because these guys always give me shit for it, right? Partly of why I like some of the stuff that's come out in Phase 4, but in the total is the connective tissue, and like you just said, like maybe that'll become something later, and if it does become significant later, will you look at it differently, knowing the new knowledge that they'll bring forward and reassess it, or does the connective tissue not matter to you as much?
Nah, yeah. If somehow they can find a way to make all this connect, I'm gonna revisit it and reevaluate. But right now, I just don't see like Thor, for example, like the Love and Thunder. I thought one of the big mistakes. I think Christian Bale was the best part of that movie as Gore the God Butcher. But they should have seeded him as a villain several movies. Like again, how Thanos didn't just pop up. Like we saw him little by little. First, we just saw him in the shadows. Then we saw like they built that story, and I feel like they're not building these villains. I think it's interesting what they're doing with Kang. I love how he showed up in Loki, and Jonathan Majors killed it.
Yeah.
But even with Ant-Man, it's been a couple of weeks, no spoilers, right? But if you ain't see it yet, that's kind of on you. With Quantumania, I felt like Scott Lang should have died. Like there had to be something in that movie to show me that Kang is somebody to fear. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I thought.
Thank
he
you,
died.
Rob.
Yeah.
It would have left a mark on people about Kang if he
Right.
would have did that.
Right, and I think Paul Rudd is actually really great, and I think the Ant-Man movies actually overachieved. I was never a big Ant-Man fan of the comic books, but the movies, the movies have been like really solid. But still,
Like one, two.
Ant-Man's a sacrificial character. Like we could have lost Ant-Man, and it would have made us feel the way. But we don't need Ant-Man going forward either. I think it would have just gave the whole storyline some consequence. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I thought they was gonna kill Ant-Man. I was rooting for Ant-Man to die just so I could feel something again. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like Kang died?
Yeah, I seen a lot of speculation that he didn't die. I mean, the thing about Kang is there's 100 of them. So yeah, I felt like they killed that Kang. I mean, they still,
You think
we
that
still have
King
a
died?
Mortis. Yeah, I think he died. I mean, there's so many variants of him. To not kill a Kang is like almost spineless. It's like you might as well kill him. There's 100 of them. He could just pop up. But I'm not 100% sure. Like I can't say for certain. But I think he's dead. My gut tells me that Kang is over with.
Did
that
it
Kang.
that King? But did it surprise you per se though when Ant-Man did win? Was because of Kang's suit failure?
Yeah. It just felt like to me this was the time to be like, oh, this is the guy to fear. This is the guy that everybody now has to come together and figure out how to fight him. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get that. Like a suit failure doesn't give me that. You know what I'm saying?
This brother here is a journalist, Tat. He's a journalist. This is what he
I know
does
his
for a living.
greatness. Yes.
That's just my opinion. That's just my
And
opinion.
I've known this brother for a good 15 years.
Yeah, 15
I
years.
trust his word. I trust his word. I believe in Rob Markman. So I'm gonna go with he wanted him to die like I wanted him to die. Now, Rob, what do you think about the DCEU and what James Gunn is doing over there right now?
And did you see the Flash trailer?
Yeah, the Flash trailer looks fire. I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
Right? Right?
Like,
Come on, Pete.
That joint looked crazy.
I didn't know what they were gonna do with all the controversy with Ezra Miller and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of pressure for them to not release the movie just because of his shenanigans in his real life. But when I saw the trailer, I said, "Oh, I understand. I get it."
Crazy.
Yeah.
I flipped out when I saw that.
Yeah, no, that trailer looked amazing. Listen, man, James Gunn got to do something, and he got to do something quick because the DCEU has been to me like
Who's Thomas Wayne in it? Michael Keaton?
Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, in the Flash trailer. Did you
Nah,
see?
yeah. I thought Michael Keaton just came back as I just thought he was an old ass Batman.
He's not. No. Okay,
No.
okay. He's not Thomas. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is big.
He came back, right? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But he came back as Batman, as 1989 Batman.
Yep.
So they're playing with Flashpoint and the different timelines and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
Yep.
but they got to do something, man, because the DCEU has been to me suffering. I think Wonder Woman was kind of my favorite out of that, and then Wonder Woman 84 dropped, and that was terrible. I just haven't seen anything that really wowed me.
You didn't like Batman?
Oh, but that's not part of it. The most recent
The
Batman?
Batman.
With
Yeah,
Rob,
the Batman.
The Batman.
with
The
Yep.
Batman. What
With
is
Robert
it?
Pattinson. Yeah, with Robert Pattinson.
that was solid, but that's not part of the DCEU, right? Like that's the other thing that's confusing is they're giving us these movies that don't exist in this world that they're building. Same thing with the Joker. I thought the Joker movie was fire too, but it doesn't exist in that world. So I'm slightly confused when I go to the theater and I'm like, what is supposed to fit where? You know what I mean?
It's like Batman has his own world and not part of the DCEU.
Yeah, for
So-
that, then they should have tried to figure a way to keep the Nolan thing going or something like that. I think those are some of the best superhero movies that we ever got. The Dark Knight and what Nolan was doing was crazy. So I don't understand why they didn't build the DCEU off the back of that.
And keep Ra's al Ghul's story going too.
Yeah.
Facts.
I don't like Ra's al Ghul.
Real quick, with all of that said, do you know about James Gunn and his announcement and this new chapter that's coming and all of this that we've seen with the DCEU and in Snyderverse and all that? That's a dub, and they're getting out these last few Aquaman. Even though I've heard that that's so trash, people walked out the free screening. Shazam's coming out or is out, whatever. Blue Beetle, you mentioned. maybe one or two others, and then after that they're gonna scrap and redo the whole thing, and it's gonna be under James Gunn eyesight. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, he better do something. It was interesting what he announced with like the Brave and the Bold. So now they're taking Batman into a whole other direction, right? I trust James Gunn, and I love what he has started with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna give it another shot, but honestly, this their last shot, man. If this don't work, like, bro, pack it up, man. Just give us Batman movies. You know, I don't like what they did with Superman either. Like, I thought Henry Cavill was is a dope Superman, and then after Black Adam, when they kind of brought him back, it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna get back to this, and you know, I'm like, all right, yeah, now they're gonna hit the reset button, and it's like, all right.
That was The Rock trying to take over, right? So he was forcing things to happen. He did everything he could to get Cavill back in as Superman, and some producers did promise that they were going to bring Superman back, but that was pre the Gunn announcement and everything, Saffron announcement. So it's like, as soon as Gunn came in, he was like, well, I'm sorry, that was a deal that y'all made. So it kind of makes The Rock look crazy, but that was never really the plan on their side.
For sure. But it also makes Gunn look crazy because the Man of Steel was fire. That was the best Superman movie that we, it was like, why wouldn't you want to utilize that? Like, you have that. Like, there was a bunch of things that wasn't working, but that was working. Like.
And then why would they say he's too old to play the part? He's perfect for Superman. I read that they said he was too old.
Listen,
maybe they will not keep him on for 20 years.
Right.
He was too old for what Gunn is trying to do. Gunn's trying to start him younger so he can last longer or whatever. So that's why he didn't fit for the now. But then the rumor is he may come back as that kid's dad or something. I don't know.
But here's the thing now. So that's all good. The pressure's on now. Now you have to make something better than Man of Steel. Now you have to give us a better Superman than Henry Cavill, or it's a bust. So it's a lot of pressure on him. Like, again, I think this is the last reset. I don't know how many more times you can hit the reset button after this one, man. So they better make this work.
Right. I agree.
So, you know, we got Shazam coming out this weekend, right? And, you know, Rob, you know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Shazam, Rob? Like, what are your thoughts on him as a character, and what are your thoughts on the sequel for this movie?
Yeah, I was never a big Shazam fan. Like, I never took Shazam seriously. Like, Shazam to me, on my introduction to Shazam was Saturday morning cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like it always seemed like mad kiddie to me. And, you know, and that's what the movie is, so that's what they're going for. So I judge it on that. I thought the first one was cool. Like, my sons enjoyed it. So if they like it, I love it.
Right.
You know, the second one looks cool. Like, I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not expecting nothing from it. Like, you know what I mean? It also interesting again, like, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman is in it. Like, they showing her in the trailer now. So I'm just like, damn, what are we doing? There's all this shit that you're about to cancel. And I'm gonna go see Shazam because I have the Regal Unlimited Movie Pass. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't go spend my money. Yeah. So I already paid for it.
Okay. So now, you know, we got you here. So I'm gonna just ask you certain questions about future things that's happening. Guardians of the Galaxy. What are you expecting from that movie?
Honestly, not much with the way the MCU has been going. I kind of felt like
Adam Warlock? No Adam Warlock?
But here's my thing about Adam Warlock, which I was excited about from Guardians 2. Again, if we're staying true to the comic and you read the Infinity Gauntlet comic,
they didn't.
It was Adam Warlock was the hero. So I thought Adam Warlock should have shown up in Infinity War and Endgame, But they kind of used the way they kind of did it. They made Captain Marvel the one that kind of showed up, the cosmic hero that would battle Thanos. So, I'm a little disappointed because I was expecting Adam Warlock to show up sooner, and see
He's
a
a
big
comic
battle
head,
between him and
people.
Thanos. Yeah. So
He's a real comic head, people.
nah, for real. But I'm gonna check it. We're gonna see. I just want to see something with some consequence to it, man. I think it'll be interesting with Gamora coming back and the whole thing between her and Star-Lord.
So we know that Dave Bautista is gonna die because he doesn't want to be Drax anymore,
Right.
right? So we know he's gone, right?
Probably.
I have a feeling that Rocket might die as well. But I like your thought process. You don't know?
I don't know. I think they're exploring Rocket's origin deep with the high evolutionary, and the fact that we're getting a high evolutionary is also super dope, especially since Mal Wondergore was just in Doctor Strange. But I don't think that they're necessarily going to kill Rocket, but they are going to make us cry from Rocket if that's your thing.
I see a spring off of a Rocket movie.
I'm not mad
Maybe.
at that. I'm not mad at it. Okay.
I see them doing.
Well, I got a question for Rob. He just said something, or y'all just said something, right? Him being true to the comics. But is it okay if it's not, and in what your opinion is, Rob, is it not straight to the comic? Because this is like a variant. This is his own story, the MCU. So is it okay when it doesn't super follow the script to the comic?
Yeah. Nah, that's okay with me. I'm not one of those that it has to be everything like the comic, because even if you think about it, one of the great things about Infinity War was the snap, and that was such a big part of what's going on in the MCU. In the comic book, that was a small part of it. Like the snap, like it wasn't as dramatic in the comic book as it was really just one panel and then everybody disappeared. But you ain't get the emotion that you get seeing everybody turn to dust, and they didn't even explore. Even now, we're still talking about the snap, right? Like how do you recover after the snap? People disappeared for 5 years and came back. So I think they stretched that out. There's a lot of things that they did that maybe expanded or they took a different turn with the comic book, which is good. So I'm not one of those ones that feels like it has to follow the comic book every step of the way.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Nice.
You had to service my man.
Just want
hey, whatever.
Breeze over that. Okay.
I got a question. I got something.
Go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead, Pete.
For Rob, are you watching any Disney anything? Moon Knight.
Yeah. I've seen all the Disney Plus stuff. I didn't see I think Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, is it the animated one. I didn't see that one yet, but I seen everything that they put out on Disney Plus. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm following that.
What did you favor the most? Falcon and
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I thought WandaVision was great.
Mm-hmm.
I loved WandaVision. I thought Loki.
I couldn't get with it, but
wait, what happened? You couldn't what?
I couldn't get with it the first couple of episodes until the end.
I love the first couple of episodes again because it was that nostalgia. It reminded me of.
Yeah.
You remember when you used to fake sick and be home, and then there was nothing but I Love Lucy or Love Boat or the Brady Bunch, I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh man. Talk about it.
I thought they did a great job in capturing that era of just pop culture, which was dope. And then the way they tied it all together at the end was super dope. So I really love WandaVision. Loki is one of those ones, Tat, like you were saying, like I didn't love Loki when I watched it, but I feel like there's going to be shit that happens that then you have to go back to the Loki series
So much.
and it's going to make it more significant. So I didn't hate Loki. I didn't like super love it. But I'm looking forward to revisiting it because I think Loki is going to play a big key in the future. And I like Moon Knight. I didn't love Captain America and the Winter Soldier so much. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But
I like Moon,
fair.
but
I call the new Captain America King of the Kickflips. He showed us he could kick flip, and he had meat arms.
That's
remember,
his one move.
Remember he rolls the truck with his arms in the rockets? I'm like, yo, your arms can't handle that stress, bro. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Last question for Rob. You know what I'm saying? In the MCU and the DCEU, what are you looking forward to the most?
In the MCU, I really want some Fantastic Four redemption. Like we got cheated every time with the Fantastic Four. We need some redemption. So Fantastic Four 1A, and then X-Men is like 1B, what I'm looking forward to. But I'm already not loving how, how they revealed Miss Marvel to be a mutant. Like, I already don't like how they're handling mutants in the MCU. So I'm a little like on the fence for X-Men. You know what I'm saying? But Fantastic Four is my number one. And then in the DCEU, that Batman Brave and Bold, like, I want to see how they handle that. And they got to get Superman right, man. If they don't get Superman right, I think all the DC centers around Superman. If they don't get Superman right, it's a wrap.
2025, June 2025, we'll know.
Yeah. We'll know in 2 years.
What about Blade, Rob?
Yeah, I think Blade will be. I think look, man, we got to put respect on Blade's name, like in terms of just the cinematic universe. Like, I think Blade showed the possibilities, and I think Mahershala Ali, I think is gonna be super dope. And I heard some shit like Wesley is gonna be in the movie in some different type of role or cameo. I hope they kind of give Wesley some respect. I think Blade could be dope, and I think it's gonna tie together characters like Moon Knight and you know what I mean, and just all the mystic, you know what I'm saying, characters and stuff like that. So yeah, Blade should be dope too.
Real quick, the end scene in what's the movie we mentioned earlier? The not the Celestials.
Quantumania?
The
Eternals. Yeah. With
the Eternals,
with
right?
Blade in it.
That end scene is that is Black Knight, and him and Blade already getting together. So that's gonna be very interesting. Also, real quick rumor, they said that the Tiamat, the one that got stuck in the earth coming out, he's gonna be the source of adamantium. So all right, we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying he's the source for adamantium, and I'm hearing that Black Knight got removed from the Blade movie. That's what I'm hearing.
Wow.
Why?
Hey, we trust the MCU, but anyway,
That's a rumor. That's a rumor.
I was never really a Black Knight fan anyway in the comic book. Like, I didn't.
Nobody was.
Me either.
I didn't like Avengers when it was like Hercules and Black Knight and
it was like reaching.
I wasn't too familiar with Black Knight.
We're gonna bring in my brother Tom to answer a fan question. Let's get into it.
We always have a good listener question. So,
Let's
hey,
go.
Rob, first of all, did Mickey pay you? Because you helped him out by repeating all his previous episode statements from Ant-Man Needs to Die to I Trust James Gunn.
Let's see your bank records.
Nah,
Let's see the bank records.
The check didn't clear yet. I think Mickey got caught up in the
Did
Silicon
he pay for
Valley.
that Regal pass that you have? Maybe that was the Regal pass.
I think Mickey banks at SVB, and so the funds probably got caught up. We just waiting for the bailout.
All right.
That's funny.
So you guys touched a little bit on this upcoming Flash movie, and the trailer is fire. There is a rumor, and Daryl R comes in with a question. He said there is a new rumor bubbling up that suggests the possibility that Grant Gustin, who plays Barry Allen in the CW's Arrowverse, who just finished shooting his last episode, is going to make an appearance in the movie The Flash.
Okay.
And potentially is going to be the new Flash moving forward.
Take that.
Think that has any truth to it?
Yeah, I heard that rumor too. I believe it because I think they have to. I think they have to move on from Ezra Miller. I think the movie was shot already, and so they're not going to abandon what. And they spent mad money on it, and it looks to be a good film. But I don't know if they can continue with Ezra Miller as the Flash going forward. So that feels like a plausible scenario to me.
That makes me happy. I like the TV Flash.
Yeah. He did a dope job.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
facts.
So
Yeah.
Wait, now, Tat, you're saying no up there.
No,
Why
I'm
are you shaking
saying
your head
no
now?
to the fact that DC cannot maintain a relationship with Ezra Miller, especially if he's going to be in jail because his his stuff didn't even get there yet. But the thing about that rumor, and I do love it as well, but it's such a fan pick that it makes me feel like it's just a rumor because fans want it to happen. So I don't want to have an expectation as well.
right.
All right. Thank you, Daryl R, for that nice question.
Yeah, thank you, Daryl, for that, man. Listen, I just want to say, man, we have our first guest, and I'm grateful for Rob Markman being our first guest here at the our love hate relationship with comic culture podcast. He is the quintessential guest to have here because he's written for comics. He loves comics. He's purchased comics. He knows the movies. He agrees with me on everything that I want. So he
Not
doesn't
everything. He likes
Right.
connective tissue, and he will reevaluate. And it doesn't
I
have to
love
follow the same script. Hello.
I like connective tissue too, but
No, you
that
don't.
we
No, you don't.
him and I agree
No, you
that him and I agree that Phase
I
4.
like connective tissue. That means what it
Listen,
means.
Nope.
Him
him
Nope.
and I agree that
I call
Phase
cap.
4 Phase
No.
4 was next,
And not
and
America.
that's really it.
Nah, so yeah, he agrees. But listen, real quick, want to take time before we wrap up. Rob, you have a new show, Amazon Music. Please tell us about it. This is fire.
Yeah.
Heard.
Live every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's called Rotation Roundtable. It's on Amazon Music, Twitch. It's a live show. I'm co-hosting with my man Speedy Mormon, Gabe P, and Nyla Simone. I mean, we just gonna talk about hip hop, raw and uncut, and the best part is it's Twitch, so the audience is right there. We're not speaking in an echo chamber. We're speaking with each other and with the audience. So it's a dope new show. I'm super excited.
That's fire. And
what's
it's an integrated show, like because of the Twitch, right? It's like one of the first integrated shows, right? This is crazy.
Facts, super facts, man. So,
Oh,
so I'm excited, and it's
Congrats.
live, so you just never know. Thank you, man, and you just never know. Sometimes, like I don't know what I'm gonna say, but you might get a hot take or two. You know what I mean? But they'll speak about it the next day.
Bet. Every Wednesday, 9:00. I'm there.
Okay. That's our show tonight. Follow our love-hate relationship with comic culture and send us your thoughts through Instagram, Comic Culture Podcast. Let us know what you think of the show. And please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave us a rating on Apple and spread the word, my comic fans. Until next week,
Yeah.
I'm Mickey Fax,
I am the Chalk Boy Wonder Pete Rock.
I'm Tat Wizard.
and we got my brother, Rob Markman here.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
I'm glad I got first guest, man. That's the story.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
And we will see you guys next week. We'll be here to review
No, we
my
won't.
man Shazam.
No, we won't.
Oh, okay.
We're not.
All right.
We're not.
We'll
I'm not
be
going
here
to the theater to see that.
Ain't gonna be here next week.
Okay. All right.
Our love-hate relationship with comic culture is produced by Spaceman World Media. Follow the show on Insta at Comic Culture Podcast.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, it's a
Look.
show off. It's
You got that
between
one, Pete?
Yeah, I
got that one, Pete?
defending Tat Pete Rock and his covers. Rob
up.
Markman is
Let's
coming
go.
in furious and fast with covers. It's happening in real time.
Okay.
Yeah, Devil. You see it?
Oh.
Yep. Monica Rambeau, first appearance.
Oh
yo.
my God!
Come on, let's go.
Oh.
Hold up.
See this?
Oh.
That's cool. That's cool.
Human
It look good
Torch,
too.
the
That's in
Silver
good condition.
Surfer.
Yes. What else? Oh,
First
I
row,
saw this-
first appearance of row.
Oh, I got that one.
know.
I got that one. Ooh,
I got. Hold on.
Tony
Hold
with
on.
the
That's cute.
Yeah, he
Pete,
quit.
That's
you
cute.
gotta, Pete, you gotta show us something.
That's
Show
cute.
us something, Pete.
Oh,
First black
Oh
costume.
my gosh!
Oh, come on, man.
I just got that. First black
come
costume.
on, Pete.
Hold up. Wait, I got Spidey. Hold on now.
Hold on.
Oh,
You see that?
That's nice.
Oh, he said that.
Come on, Pete. A little 9.2 action.
Oh,
Come on,
Is
Pete.
that
cable.
cable?
Yo,
Hold on.
Pete.
Oh,
He's trying to see.
oh,
He's trying to show me up. Come up
oh.
now.
He said,
Come up
"That's
now.
nice.
Hold
That's
up, man.
He's
nice."
really spilling out his couch.
Nice. Hold up, man. I got these right here.
Okay.
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 Okay,
That's
Pete.
clean.
Oh, man.
That's clean.
What else? What else, man? Come on, man.
I'm tapped
you caught me
out.
off guard, man.
I just bought a short stack with me. That was it. I tapped out.
Nah.
Pete, you got it.
She said
I
he had
bought
to
a
go
short
into the
stack.
long box. Oh, Frank is.